Welcome to IRL Media News. I'm your host, Chris Thompson, and today we're exploring how Saudi Arabia has used their oil fortunes to create LIV Golf. We jump into the immense financial operation it takes to run a startup golf tour, and we'll discuss LIV Golf's controversial on-again, off-again proposed merger with the PGA Tour. All that and more on today's episode of IRL Media News. The birthplace of Islam, extensive oil reserves, and a vast Arabian desert. These are some of the integral attributes that make up the OPEC kingdom that is Saudi Arabia. In recent years, the Saudis have started expanding their economy's verticals in an attempt to ease their dependency on oil production. A smart move on their end, but one of the new sectors that they've gone all in on is kind of surprising. They started their own golf league called LIV Golf, which, fun fact, is the Roman numeral for 54. I'm full of random useless facts. Helmed by everyone's favorite shark, CEO Greg Norman, LIV Golf Invitational launched its first series in 2022. In order to differentiate themselves from the PGA Tour, LIV tournaments were made shorter. Instead of 72 holes, they only play 54 holes. Also, a team element was added, but most importantly, the prize purse was increased by leaps and bounds. In true Godfather fashion, LIV Golf and the Saudis basically made many of the world's best golfers a financial offer they couldn't refuse. For some context, LIV Golf is backed by Saudi Arabia Public Investment Fund, or PIF, which was founded in 1971, but it wasn't until 2014 that they were allowed to finally invest in commodities outside the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. The Saudi Crown Prince, Mohammed bin Salman, or BMS as he's known, is estimated to have over $650 billion in total wealth, with aspirations of reaching $1 trillion by the year 2030. Not too shabby as far as goals go, but with those kind of deep pockets, the Saudis certainly had the dough to attract many of golf's top names, which they've successfully done. The money being thrown around is kind of eye-popping. Tiger Woods was the most prominent target for the Saudis, but somewhat heroically, Tiger turned down an offer worth an estimated $750 million. He's already rich enough, but it's nice to know that he has some loyalties to the PGA. Phil Mickelson, on the other hand, didn't show a lot of restraint. Although exact details were never revealed, as one of the first to sign on, he received a lucrative deal estimated to be around $200 million. Dustin Jackson pocketed $150 million. Bryson DeChambeau earned an estimated $125 million, while Brooks Koepka and Cameron Smith each scored a cool $100 million for their switching to the LIV Golf Tour. And there's still more cash on the table for LIV golfers. The winner of each LIV event wins a hefty cash prize of $4 million. In comparison, the winner of the Open Championship at St. Andrews, which is one of golf's biggest purses in the world, pays their players just $2.5 million. Unlike the PGA Tour, which does not award any prizes for last-place finishers, even the last-place finisher in LIV Golf tournament earns a lucrative $120,000 cash prize. Not bad for a weekend's work. I know which league I'd like to play in. In October 2021, LIV Golf Investments was formally launched, and in Season 1, the Saudi PIF dished out over $2 billion to get the ball rolling. A total of $675 million was paid out to those 5 golfers that I mentioned before. The Saudis seem to have chosen golf as their first sport that they hope to take over, although it likely won't be the last. We presume that tennis might be next, or possibly followed by buying a Formula One racing team, or even perhaps buying the entire Formula One group, owned by billionaire John Malone's Liberty Media Corporation. Or maybe they'll spring for buying the UFC, which only recently was acquired by Uber agent Ari Emanuel's Endeavor Group Holdings. Golf's individual style of playing makes it easy for the kingdom with nearly unlimited money to entice the world's best athletes to join LIV Golf Tour. How are they doing it? In the words of former NFL star Randy Moss, straight cash, homie. Information has come out regarding LIV contracts that suggest that golfers may have made a Faustian bargain with the Saudis. The contracts are littered with strict rules that golfers must follow, including what to wear, when they can interview, who they can interview with, and their lack of a voice when it comes to their own schedules. One could argue that they made a deal with the devil, but apparently the devil pays really well. Did you know that 99% of you watching this video right now aren't subscribers? Let's change that. Click the subscribe button down below. Thanks. We already know every player has a different contract, which may call into question their legal validity. For instance, reports have claimed that when players win an event, the cash prize is actually withdrawn from their original contract. So for example, if Phil Mickelson wins a tournament, the $4 million prize is just subtracted from his $200 million contract. Where's the incentive for players to compete to their utmost ability instead of just phoning it in when they're getting the same dollar amount no matter how good they play? So it remains to be seen whether the proposed merger between the PGA and LIV Golf will be approved. Many PGA players have been very vocal about their feelings towards the merger. Rory McIlroy specifically had a lot to say on the matter, staying consistent with his thoughts and views on the Saudis taking over the sport. Although McIlroy was never offered a LIV contract, the third-ranked golfer in the world likely would have never even accepted it. In fact, the Irishman is teaming up with Tiger Woods to start their own golf league that'll bring virtual reality to the game in hopes of enticing in a younger generation of golfers. It seems like everywhere as you look on the golf circuit, people are trying to capitalize on the money to be made. Even the PGA Tour Commissioner Jay Monahan knew they had his back against the wall when it came to LIV Golf. So instead of trying to compete with LIV, an entity that has far superior assets, he decided a merger might be the best resolution for his organization. The PGA LIV Golf merger would cease any ongoing litigation between the two sides and would create a new company altogether. The PGA would have a majority stake in the new venture, and LIV's owners, the PIF, would assume a minority stake. That all sounds fine and dandy, but will this mega merger in golf be the best thing since chocolate joined forces with peanut butter? That remains to be seen. Plus, there's a new staking course named Fenway Sports Group, owners of the Boston Red Sox and English Premier League's Liverpool FC. A nice American-owned company would surely pass regulators' smell tests and gain quick approval, so there's that to consider. The bottom line is that everyone wants to showcase the best golfers in the world. On that, we can all agree. The idea is to create a buzz around the centuries-old sport that engages today's audiences. Whenever that might look like, or wherever the final deal is in place, golf is going to continue to evolve. Hopefully, the end product will make the game even more incredible than it was before. We can't wait to see what the industry looks like in the coming years. That's it for our show. Be sure to smash that like button, subscribe to our channel, and don't forget to hit the bell icon to get the latest updates from IRL Media News.